Hello and welcome to today's community chat and broadcast. Today we are going to be talking about soy, and we're going to try to determine or help you determine whether soy might be bad for you or not. And I'm going to share my own personal experiences with being exposed to soy. And I always want to preface these kind of conversations with the fact that I am not a doctor. So I know there are people who thrive consuming soy and have no issues with it. I always say go with what works for you. But there are also a lot of women, especially when you're going through some hormonal changes, where you really do feel like your body is out of sorts. And I always recommend that soy be that one thing that you look for in your daily lifestyle routines to see if maybe that might be part of the problem for you. So welcome if you're joining us. If you're catching us on YouTube, always take a second to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the little bell notification. That way you will be notified when we go live. And for those of you on Facebook, I always ask the same thing. Make sure you hit that like button and that you check to make sure that you are set up for notifications as well. My name is Diane. I'm the creator of the online course and community for today's aging woman, where we talk about intermittent fasting and some of the changes that happen for us women as we go through the aging process. Very quickly, I also want to announce that our registration for our August 1st Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course is officially open. So if you have been on our waiting list or you have been waiting for us to open up registration, now is your time to get yourself registered. Registration will stay open through the 31st of July. If you're on my email list, no worries. I'll make sure that I get you emailed up as well, so you'll know all the information about getting registered. So today that we want to talk about soy. If you are a graduate of my Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, then you know, because I share with you in there about how I figured out soy was a problem for me. So soy was one of those things that I was just experimenting with when I started going through a lot of these hormonal changes that I was not happy with, and I wasn't feeling well. I was pre-diabetic, I was gaining a bunch of weight, had all kinds of inflammation going on in my body, and I was going through everything nutritionally, trying to figure out what the heck was going on with me. And I was pretty much down to the bare minimums and didn't know what was still kind of, that pesky thing that was keeping me from looking and feeling my best. I was eating a very clean nutritional lifestyle. I was following what you would call a healthy diet. So all of the foods that I was consuming in my feasting window were deemed healthy and were, the things that we tend to lean to when we're trying to clean up our diet. And I was still having that feeling of just being off. I had pains going down the side of my neck. I was constantly in getting MRIs done and always at my doctor's office. I swear I thought I had like thyroid cancer or something. I had pains going down the side of my face. Felt like something was stabbing me through my eye. Just awful pain and just fatigue and not feeling well. I was very active, like I said, and very, very conscious in my decision making about the food that I was choosing, and I was avoiding all very obvious soy products. So if it said it had soy in it or it looked like it had soy in it, I was avoiding it. And then when I got really, really diligent about reading ingredients labels, I realized when I was very actively pursuing a soy-free lifestyle that I had been exposed to soy in some way, shape, or form 15 times in one day while actively trying to avoid soy. So this is where I want to share with you what just recently happened to me. So I am very conscious about taking in anything with soy in it. So soybean oil, soy lecithin, what are some other ones? Soy lecithin. I'm trying to think of some other ways that it's described. So soy lecithin, soybean oil, anything with soy in it, I just avoid. I don't put anything in, on, or around my body. So lotions, deodorants, skincare products, all things that I put in, on, or around my body. I read the ingredients label and had completely eliminated them all. Well, recently, or in the position that I'm in here on social media, I get asked a lot to try new products for people, and then if I like them, I get asked to share them with my audience. So I go through this very stringent process of making sure that if I share anything with you guys, I make sure that it's passed my test and that I'm in love with it before I share it. So I was trying a new skincare line, and I did what I thought was my homework on the skincare line. I read all of their marketing information. It was, cruelty free, which is important to me. It was all natural products, free of parabens, all those kind of trigger things that I tend to look for. And so I decided I would go ahead and give the skincare line a try. So I started using it, and I started feeling bad simultaneously. I hadn't connected the skincare line yet. So how I started feeling bad was my throat started to hurt. I felt really swollen in my glands. All of like the area around my upper body, so my shoulders, my neck, everything felt very achy, almost flu-like in a way. I felt very fatigued. Mentally, I felt off, and I felt a little bit of just like down, like a little bit of, not I want to say depression, but I just felt down. I didn't have any like zest for life. I felt like I literally had the flu. I was talking to Michael. I'm like, we've been in quarantine. Could I have like the coronavirus? I didn't know. I just did not feel good. So I was retracing my steps. I'm like, should I go get tested? Like I felt that bad. That morning, it had been about 4 or 5 days, and that morning when I made the connection, I was like, I feel like it's something I'm doing to myself. And I had washed my face that morning, and I had put on some moisturizer, and I really felt bad. Like it was probably the worst day. And I thought, you know what? The only thing new that I've done in my life is add in this skincare line. And so I went through their website and looked at every single ingredient that was in their product line. And I teach, and what I share here and what I teach in my course is that the way I tell if a product has an ingredient that's not good for me is the first thing I do is scan down to the allergen warning. So wheat, soy, and dairy are 3 things that are listed as allergen warnings on a label for anything that has, anything that would be consumed by our bodies, right? So including skincare products. Saw no allergen warnings. I skimmed the ingredients label, saw no soy in it. Well, what this particular brand did was they listed soy as glycerol soya. So SOYA. So it didn't stick out to me for what I usually scan an ingredients label for. It was, in my opinion, a little coded. And every single product in their product line has glycerol soya, which is soy oil, soybean oil. So I had been soying myself twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. And there was also like a lip gloss that I also had purchased from them, and it had soy in it too. So anytime I put that on my lips, I was just dousing my system with soy. So how do you know if soy is bad for you? If you're doing everything that you feel is necessary to allow you to look and feel your best, and you still feel like something is nagging at your system because you can't show up feeling your best, that's when we have to go back and become our own detectives. And you have to go through everything that you are exposed to in a day, whether it's something that you're consuming in the form of your nutrition or food that you're putting in your body, or it's something that you're consuming in the way of either putting on your body or around your body. And because I have had this exposure before, soy candles used to make me feel the same way. They would make me feel fatigued. They would make me feel achy all up here in my neck and my shoulders. They would make me feel sad. They would completely wipe me out. And I had to go through that process of elimination again, even in my own home space, to figure out what that thing was that was making me feel so bad. So I had experienced it before, but didn't make the connection between this new skincare product that I was putting on my face and the way I was feeling until I went back and did my research. So I always teach here in this community that we have to be our own advocates, that we have to do the research for ourselves and really get down and dirty with reading ingredients labels and looking through some of those fine lines and really researching to make sure that what we're putting or exposing our body and our hormonal system to is going to allow us the opportunity to balance ourselves out so that we can show up looking and feeling our best. So if you're not feeling your best and you think you're doing everything, trust me, there's something that's just a little pesky thing that's hanging around in some of the choices that you're making that's keeping you from that ultimate feeling of being your best. And so I made the connection with turkey bacon, which is deemed a very healthy food or clean food item. And there was soy lecithin in the turkey bacon that we were utilizing in our daily, feasting regimen. And once I eliminated that was the last thing I had. Then I started, feeling my best and feeling most balanced out. So, needless to say, I'm not using that skincare line. And I'm not going to be sharing that with anyone because I do not want anyone to feel the way that I just felt over this past week of just feeling completely knocked off my feet. So make sure you're doing your work. I know that there are some soy products that people feel comfortable consuming. And again, if that is something that you don't feel like is holding you back or taking you out of balance, you got to do you, because food is not always bad. It just might be bad for some people. Soy just happens to be the thing that for me and a lot of women in this community, after doing their due diligence and their research, have deemed to be not the best for them. And then keep in mind that there are different versions of soy as well. And a lot of the soy lecithin and filler type of products that are used in some of the things that we're consuming on a daily basis are really just cheap fillers that are put in place so that things can be made a little bit more affordable. So if it's used for something for that purpose, we definitely don't want to be incorporating that into our healthy lifestyle as well. So of course, determining whether soy is good or bad for you is a very personal decision. I always like to share my own personal experiences here with all of you, just in case you feel like you're doing everything that you need to be doing as an aging woman to balance out your hormones, but you still feel like there's something that you're doing in your life that's holding you back from looking and feeling your best. And it could very possibly be some of the soy exposures that you have throughout your day. One of the things I also highly recommend if you're trying to figure out if something is an intolerance for you is I do a 7-day test. So I eliminate that thing that I feel like is causing me some issues with looking and feeling my best. I eliminate it for 7 days, and then I reintroduce it into my life, and I just kind of judge how I felt without it and then how I feel with it back into my life. And then you have to make that personal decision for yourself. Is this something that's worth it to me or something that's not worth it to me? I also did that test when I figured out corn was the thing that was causing me to have really heavy, weighted, painful bags underneath my eyes. I know there are a lot of women who spend a lot of money on lots of eye creams to depuff our eyes and get rid of some of those eye bags that we think is part of aging. It's not part of aging all the time. Sometimes it could just be your body's way of sending you a sign or signal that something that you're doing is not working for you. And corn fillers happen to be the thing that was doing that to me. So again, I just eliminated any kind of corn fillers and ingredients labels. For a week, I added them back in and the eye bags came back. I knew that was the thing that was causing me the problem. So that's the best way to test soy, to see if it might be something that's causing you some problems that maybe you haven't made the connection with. I also think it's really important for our young girls as well to make sure that we're doing our due diligence for them. Soy lecithin is a product that's also found in a lot of deodorants, and we're putting that right in our lymph node system, right underneath our armpits. And a lot of times, if we don't think about it, we shave our armpits and then we put deodorant on and it has some of those harmful ingredients in it. It goes right into a raw skin area that is a very sensitive area as well. And that could be one of those things that we want to be very mindful of, especially with some of our, grandkids or daughters that are teenagers that are kind of going through some hormonal changes as well. Something as innocent as putting deodorant on a freshly shaved armpit could be something that could become very problematic for us if we do have those intolerances to things like soy or soy lecithin. So make sure you're reading those ingredients labels and then test it out for yourself so that you can have an honest approach to whether something is going to be worth having in your lifestyle, or you might find that you are going to thrive a little better by eliminating it and taking it out altogether. So I am going to come in really quickly and I'll welcome everyone and answer any questions or comments. Looks like we have some light comments today. I'll get through those really quickly and then I'll send you guys about your day. Janet, good to have you with us here, girlfriend. I know you've done all this soy work as a graduate of the intermittent fasting class.
OG.
Anna, She's an OG from 2017. Anna is here from Rhode Island, March 2020 grad, currently also in our midlife mindset shift course. Anne Marie, girlfriend, I'll be talking to you tomorrow on a one-on-one consult call. Thanks for jumping on with us today. Rhonda from Canada is here, and then Erin from Nashville, September 2018 grad. Thanks for always sharing your wisdom. Yeah, you're welcome, girlfriend. And then Dawn, yeah, tofu's another one of those things. You know, it's that thing that if you find you don't have any problems with it, then, you know, there's a lot of like non-GMO, organic tofu and all that kind of stuff. I say if you're using it and you feel like it's serving you, then you definitely, you know, that's that personal decision you have to make for yourself. I don't touch anything that's soy for me. I just feel healthier personally without it, and I just find sources of protein other ways. I know a lot of people put tofu into their nutritional choices when they're trying to be a little bit more plant-based, and tofu is one of those things that they turn to. I just don't feel like I need to have that much protein to substitute it with something like tofu. So again, personal preference and also personal experience as well. So short and quick here today. I wanted to also make sure I reminded you guys, because we did this talk on Monday, I think, of last week, where I talked about having the ability to lose 5 pounds in a week if you wanted to. And so I wanted to make sure I circled back around, because I reminded you guys I was gonna ask you to report back how your week went if you were consciously working on implementing some changes into your life, in case like maybe you suddenly picked up a couple extra pounds because of vacation weight or quarantine weight or stress weight or whatever you were doing. And if you weren't happy with it, can you make the mindset shift to make that change? So if you have this week, make sure you circle back around in the comment section and share with us. We want to cheer you on for sure. I know for myself, I dropped 7 pounds since Monday, and I think a big part of that was the inflammation that my body was holding on to with having that soy reaction in my body as well. So remember, picking up sudden weight doesn't always mean that you've made bad choices or you're a bad person. Sometimes it could just be a sign that your body is sending you, letting you know that something that's going on around your environment, or maybe some nutritional choices that you've made, they're not working for your body chemistry. And if you make the switch and do the test and eliminate them, you can just adjust right back to where you were before you had that reaction. So for me, I'm sure a lot of what I had going on with my body was the inflammation that my body was holding on to because of those soy exposures that I had very innocently, and I was able to fix it, and I'm right back here on a Monday, right back where I like to be. Trish, I eliminated all things soy last June. In fact, I'm pretty much keto carnivore, and that was the real turning point for me feeling so much better. Yeah, Trish, for sure. And I love that you figured out what works best for you and you're thriving there. And we have to remember that. We can't depend on other people to do that for us, and we definitely don't want to copycat other people's nutritional lifestyle. We deserve to do the work. We deserve to experiment and really test some things out so that we can finally live happy with food choices. And for those of you who are on my email list, I did share a little documentary that we are watching here at our house. It's called Down to Earth. It is with Zac Efron and Darren O'Lean, who's the co-creator of my daily break fast shake. So he helped put the nutrients into that shake that we all love so much here in our household. If you have a chance and you're looking for something to watch on TV, the docuseries Down to Earth is fantastic. It's all about living healthy lifestyles and really...
Netflix.
What?
Netflix.
What'd I say?
Did you say Netflix?
Oh, Netflix. So it's on Netflix. And really creating a sustainable world that we live in. And so it's a really, really good docuseries if you're looking for something. And what I loved most about it, I've watched 5 episodes so far, and what I loved about it is a lot of the things that we talk about here and a lot of things that we practice here, they discussed in that docuseries. So that just confirms that we are all on the right track here for sure. So, Stacy, you said you're loving the show. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a super show for sure. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go. I'll see you back here on Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you've been on the wait list for the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course, just a reminder, registration is open. We will be starting class on August 1st, and I can't wait to have you all inside with us. Definitely send me a DM if you have any questions or just want to say hello. I always love hearing from you guys, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday.